Hello, my fellow ferals. It is Tiberius. Today we're cleaning my kitchen, and I'm super depressed. And I am voicing over this now, so this was earlier today. I'll probably post the video tomorrow. But a few days ago, well, first I want to start by saying those who know me know I'm polyamorous, and if you're not familiar with what polyamorous or polyamory is, it's where you're in multiple relationships with different people. And you guys know that I just recently went through a divorce with my spouse, Sarah, but my boyfriend, Ashton, called things off with me a few days ago, and I'm finally at a point where I feel like I can talk about it. I'm pretty devastated by the situation, but I'm not as devastated as I was. Um, but what happened was the distance had gotten to them, and they didn't want to continue a long distance relationship. They also said that they didn't understand what I was going through and couldn't relate to it and didn't know how to help, which I didn't need them to help me. And I hadn't really talked about them much about my divorce, although I had told them some, but I didn't like openly, discuss it with them because it just felt inappropriate. Um, but um, excuse me. But anyway, I'm back now. I had to take a minute. Um, but yeah, their name was Ashton, and I was very much in love with them, and I'm still very much in love with them, and it's going to take some time for me to fall out of love with them. I think the hardest part about a breakup is giving up the future that you saw. Um, but in hindsight, I guess I saw this coming, um, just like with Sarah, because they'd stopped texting me like they used to, and I just chalked it up to they were busy because they got a new job, but they stopped telling me good morning, and it just got less and less text messages. And I messaged them like, hey, I want to come down and visit you during Valentine's Day because I really miss you. And I was going to go down to Knoxville and meet them there. But they told me they didn't want to be a financial burden to me. And I mean, respect, but I didn't mind. Um, and just, I tried to make it less days. And then I asked if, are we okay? And that's when they ended up calling things off because of the distance. And just, they didn't feel like they could love me the way that I wanted. I think that's what they said. It was the way I wanted, or needed, maybe. Maybe it was needed. I'm not looking at the text, so I can't really tell. Um, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty heartbroken about it. Um, I feel like I always feel like when I go through stuff like this, like I shouldn't be feeling the way I'm feeling. Like I'm trying to tell myself, you should be feeling. So excuse me. Okay, I'm back again, and I keep telling myself, I shouldn't be feeling the way I'm feeling because there was a big age gap between us, um, and I I feel like I should have known that it wasn't going to last very long because of just being long distance, and I'm planning on moving to upstate New York sometime this year. Um, just unsure of when currently, just really wanting to get out of the South. Uh, but I was trying to visit them because I told them, I was like, I don't know how often I'm going to be able to come see you once I do move to upstate New York because that's really going to be a far distance. And, I figured with being a poly couple, like, the distance wouldn't matter because, we can date other people. It's not just us. But, um, I don't get romantic feelings very often. I've had maybe 5 relationships in the entire course of my adult life. Um, Maybe just 4. I can't think right now, but when I do get feelings, I get them really strong, and I'm always very certain about them when I do get them. And just like, I was trying to go a month without talking to them just to give myself some space. And they said they want to be friends, but I don't know how capable I am of that at this current moment in time. Excuse me. I'm back. And just don't know how capable I am of doing that at this current time. Um and I ended up texting them the next day, not for "I love you, I miss you," though I did tell them that I will always love them in our final text. But not the point. Their Christmas present was still sitting on my coffee table, and I just really didn't want the reminder sitting around, you know? Like, I didn't want to be faced with that uh, for the coming days. And it's not something that, I wanted to keep, or so I asked them if I could just mail it to them. They said it was all right. Um, which I did the other day, so they should get it within the week. Um, but I'm trying to get rid of the reminders. And something that's really bothering me currently is that, on your most recent watched list, when it has continue watching, well, I had been watching through Digimon because they absolutely love Digimon, and I wanted to, be a part of that love, and I wanted to feel closer to them, so I started watching it, and I ended up getting really into it. Um, but now I can't even go into Hulu because I keep seeing the continue watching, and just I don't think I'm gonna be picking that series back up. Um, at least for the time being. Um, like, I don't know. I guess maybe things did change when I got separated from Sarah. I didn't want them to change, but I think change is just an inevitable part of life. Like, nothing is permanent, never. Excuse me. I'm back. But nothing is ever permanent. And, life is seasonal. And I, excuse me. And I'm back. But life is seasonal, and sometimes the season ends. And winter just was not my season. This, well, I guess it technically takes place in both years, but you guys know what I mean. Winter just wasn't my season because the beginning of winter, uh, got a divorce, and then midwinter got broken up with, and still dealing with that sting. Um, I mean, I wish them the best because I love them and I want them to go on and be happy. Part of me wonders if it's because they had a new romantic interest, because when I asked them about it, they hadn't told them that they were poly, and they went on a date. And I was like, well, you need to tell them. And they made a joke saying, well, I'm bisexual. And I was like, well, they don't know necessarily, you know, that you're poly. And then he's just was like, well, we both have fuck buddies. And I was like, I just kind of dropped it. I probably should have kept it going, but it doesn't really matter now, uh, at all. And, yeah, so I've just been really dealing or trying to deal, and it just sucks going through it at the same time, going through two separations at the same time, even if, they both in the end were for the best. It doesn't make it any easier. Um, like, and it just the situation with Ashton felt so remnant of the situation with Sarah, because he had stopped telling me good morning and stuff like that. And just stuff with Sarah, like towards the end, she just began acting worse and worse because I don't remember if I said it, but when I tried to, a few days after I called things, I tried to work things out again by saying, if you go to personal therapy and we go to couples therapy, I think we can make it work. And that's when she told me she had been relieved when I called things off and that she had been wanting out of the relationship for a long time. And that really hurt. And I just can't help wondering if, maybe, excuse me. And I'm back. And I can't help wondering if maybe, Ashton felt the same way, if he had been wanting out too. And that's just a really hard thing to take. Like, breakups are never easy. It doesn't matter if you're poly or mono being short for monogamous, but it doesn't really matter. Breakups are breakups. And just because, I love more than one person at a time doesn't mean my love isn't genuine. But part of me is still hoping, maybe we'll get back together. Uh, maybe something will work out because they are, pretty young. So maybe in a few years, I'm not holding out hope because that would be foolish of me. But right now, I'm really wishing that we could get back together. At the same time, I don't believe in looking back, even though sometimes I catch myself doing it. I don't believe you should look back. I feel like you should leave, the past in the past, you know, not let your ship be steered from behind. Just like, the dog wags the tail, not the tail wags the dog. So I'm trying to move forward and I've been trying to keep myself really busy. School's going to be starting back up again. I'm on academic probation because I made a D in biology, which I think is so stupid because I made a D. I passed. I didn't fail. I just made a bad grade. I shouldn't have to be on academic probation and I shouldn't have to take the class again. But apparently I do. Uh, so dealing with that, the only reason I'm on academic probation is because I didn't buy the book because I couldn't justify buying a $350 book that you could only keep for 6 months. So I didn't buy the book or do any of the book work. So I ended up with a D. But the rest of my grades were up enough to pass with a D, and I feel like that should be, good enough. But apparently I had to have a C, but I'm going to be taking another course here coming up in February, not February. What am I talking about? End of January. January 20th is when online classes start back again, and I'm looking into taking public speaking, even though I'm terrible at it because I can't make eye contact to save my life. Thank you, Tism. But because I tried it once and I had to drop the class. I've actually tried to take it twice and I had to drop the class both times because I don't have a formal diagnosis, excuse me, for the autism. And I don't want to get a formal diagnosis for the autism because it will make doing certain things that I want to do in the future very difficult for me to do, like immigrate to another country. That's definitely on my bucket list, is to one day immigrate somewhere. But you can't do that if you're autistic, which is so dumb. But, that's neither here nor there. But right now, my plans are just to get to upstate New York. We're looking at the Buffalo, Niagara Falls area currently. I'm moving with Kat, who I don't think I've ever talked about Kat, but she was my first wife, whom I married the day I turned 18. Um, way back in like 2008. And uh obviously never legally, but still it happens. It only lasted like 2 years. And yeah, now thinking about it, I have only had 5 relationships because there was Kat, then there was this woman named Jenna, then there was Sarah, then there was Stelly, and then there was Ashton. So yeah, 5 relationships. Um Not all of them were long term though. Uh but it still takes me a while to get over a breakup. Yeah, anyway, just want to be near Canada in case things really get messed up here in the US. I don't know if we're quite there yet, but I feel like we're getting there in a hurry. So, just in case, like to be close to Canada. Um I man. Anyway, can't remember what I was saying. But I'm not looking forward to the cold. I don't like the cold, but I'm going to be dealing with the cold. I wanted to originally live in Florida, in Orlando, and go to Disney like every day. Get a, pass, whatever you call it, membership. I don't remember what it's called. But I wanted to do that and live there, but then DeSantis took office. I mean, that's how long I've been trying to get out of Tennessee, is since before DeSantis took office. And it's just never worked out, but I know it's going to work out this time because I am absolutely determined to leave this state. Um Man, I'm sweaty. Um but yeah, I'm really determined to get out of the state. I'm trying to get my degree because I want to go abroad and teach English, and the only requirement for teaching English abroad is that you have to have a college degree, and it doesn't, and a certificate saying you can teach English. I forget exactly what it's called, but you you just have to have a college degree. It doesn't matter what the degree is in. And I'm doing social work still because I really want to help people for a living. I don't know how well that's going to work as a degree abroad, but it's what I'm passionate about, and I don't want to do something that I'm not passionate about. I also don't feel like I'm very capable of doing anything other than helping people for a living. Because, like, guys, I make art and all that kind of stuff, but, that's not paying the bills. That's never paid the bills. That only every 3 years brings me like $20. Um, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you guys feel me. Anyway, we're getting to the end of this video. That's what's going on with me. I really hope you guys like this video. You know, give me some kind of hope in the comment section. Just comment below and just tell me I'm going to be okay or something, or wish me luck. But don't forget to stay chaotic, and please like, subscribe, and share. And definitely subscribe if you like cleaning videos and you like arts and crafts videos, because I do both. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. I'm trying to stretch it out because I know I still have like 25 seconds until the end of the video. I can never end these things on time. But yes, thumbs up, please. Interact with this video. And most importantly, of all everything that I can tell you, is don't forget to stay chaotic. All right, I love you guys. Everybody have a good day. Bye.